review how to graph lines. So video is intended for an Algebra 2 audience that kind of already has the basics and has seen how to graph lines before, and they just need quick refreshers so they can be on their way. So we're going to graph the following lines. We're going to identify slope and y-intercept when it is appropriate. So I have three different equations here. We're going to quickly move through them. So our first one, y equals negative 2/3 x plus 5. So recognize this equation is in slope-intercept form. We have our y by itself. Slope-intercept form is super nice because if you listen to that name, it's going to tell you your slope, and it is going to tell you where that y-intercept is. So this is why slope-intercept form is preferred by a lot of students, because quickly look at it and we'll be able to quickly get to a graph. If the equation is not in slope-intercept form, that y is not by itself, and you're given it in maybe standard form or some other form, just isolate that y variable, get it by itself. I do have a prior video that shows you how to go from standard form to slope-intercept form. Once you're there, you're on your way. Okay, you're on your way to getting your slope, y-intercept, and graphing. So what we know from slope-intercept form is the number that appears in front of the x, that is our slope. Okay, the number that appears in front of the x is our slope. So negative 2/3 is in front of the x, that is our slope. Sometimes people add the x there. The x has nothing to do with it, okay? It's just the number in front of the x is our slope. So our slope is negative 2/3. The y-intercept is just the lone constant by itself, which there is just a plain old 5, so that is our y-intercept. So once I have my slope and y-intercept, I should be able to move through and graph. So I'm going to start with my y-intercept. We need to be all the way up at positive 5, which is right here, positive 5. And then I'm going to start applying my slope. Okay, I'm going to start applying my slope. When we think about slope, we're thinking about rise over run, rise over run. So the number on the top of your fraction is going to move you up or down, and then the number on the bottom, the run, is always going to move you to the right. Okay, it's going to move you to the right. So we need to go from the y-intercept. It says negative 2. So since it's negative, we're going to go down 2 because it's negative. If it was positive 2, it would be going up 2. We're going to go down 2, and then we're going to run. We're going to move to the right 3. Down 2, right 1, 2, 3. Put a point. From that point, do it again. Down 2, right 3. Down 2, right 3. And I've filled out my graph there. If I wanted to add more points this direction, a lot of people get kind of stuck there. Reverse everything you just did, okay? So my pattern was down 2, right 3, down 2, right 3, down 2, right 3. So if I wanted to go the opposite direction, flip those directions. Up 2, left 3, up 2, left 3. And it should make sense because your points should line up. Hence, we are graphing lines, okay? Sometimes people don't know how to fill in points to the left. You're just flipping the pattern. So we went down 2, right 3, down 2, right 3. I'm going to go ahead and draw right on through here, connecting the dots. That's nice. Put some arrows there. There is my line in slope-intercept form. Two special cases we're going to look at for the rest of this video. Horizontal and vertical lines. So I have y equals 5 and x equals negative 3. And again, I know they're lines. I know I'm supposed to graph them, but I'm like, shoot. I don't remember what I'm dealing with. Is it a horizontal line? Is it a vertical line? I'm not really sure. If you've seen my prior videos, that familiar saying that's going to help you through is Hoy Vux, H-O-Y. Notice this equation is y equals and just a number. That's how I know Hoy goes with this equation. I'll get to this one in a second. It is x equals negative 3 VUX, and notice the x there. So that's how I knew Hoy is up here with this one, and Vux has to pertain with this one. So remember with Hoy, things that's going to tell you is this is an equation of a horizontal line. The H tells me that. I'm going to have a horizontal line. The O is actually going to tell me about that slope. The slope is 0. The Y is going to help you identify what it is. Y equals. And remember, other people use y-axis. We're going to go through the y-axis. So to graph this, just pay attention to what it says. It says y equals 5. So let's go to the y-axis, which is the one up and down, and go to positive 5. There we are. Put a point. And I know this is supposed to be a horizontal line, and I know horizontal lines are just like this. Don't need to add in a whole bunch of additional points. Just draw in my horizontal line, nothing to it. Okay, so there's my slope. I can identify the y-intercept there. The y-intercept, we are at 5 there. So once I graphed it, very easy to pull out that y-intercept. Final example for this video, x equals -3, and we already talked about how Vux applies there. So things that I know about this equation is I know it's going to produce a vertical line. Vux helped me out there, Vux. I know the slope here is going to be undefined. There is not a numerical value that we can place on this slope. And the x is going to tell me, hey, take a look at that x-axis. It's going to help you out there. So let's go to the x-axis. Let's go to -3 and put a point. So I went to the x-axis, -3, put a point. And then I know, hey, this is a vertical line. So we're going straight up and down. So right up here and all the way down. That's nice. Okay. If I wanted to try and find the y-intercept, so where am I crossing the y-axis, as I've done it on the previous ones, notice I do not cross the y-axis at all, so you just say none. There is no y-intercept. And that, my friends, was how you can quickly graph 3 types of forms of lines. We had slope-intercept, we had a horizontal line, and a vertical line.